Hi everybody, I'm Kathleen Byron, and I'm the author of Conversations with Donkey, a Bipolar Journey. What I'd like to talk about today is corvids. Corvids are the bird family that includes ravens, crows, magpies, and jays. If you want to talk about the absolute geniuses of the animal kingdom, corvids are the ultimate subject. Their brain to body mass ratio is incredibly high, similar to that of a chimpanzee and not far off from a human. They never forget a face, and they gossip. Crows and ravens have an incredible capacity for facial recognition. In a famous study at the University of Washington, researchers wore specific masks while capturing and banding wild crows. Years later, when anyone wore that specific dangerous mask on campus, the crows would dive bomb and scold them. But it gets wilder. The crows that were never even captured joined in on the attack. The original crows had communicated the threat to their friends, neighbors, and even passed the information down to their offspring. They can hold a grudge for generations. They don't just use tools, they manufacture them. While a few animals use tools, New Caledonian crows actually make them. If they need to reach a juicy grub hidden inside a deep tree cavity, they will find a twig, strip off the leaves, and carefully bend the end into a perfect hook. They've also been observed in laboratory settings solving multi-step puzzles that require using a short stick to reach a longer stick, which is then used to reach a piece of food. They can plan out the entire sequence in their heads before they even make their first move. They understand physics and traffic laws. In Japan and parts of California, crows have figured out a genius way to crack open tough nuts like walnuts. They will fly over a busy intersection, drop the nut right in front of the tires of idling cars, and wait for the light to turn green. The car drives forward, cracks the shell, and then, instead of risking their lives in moving traffic, the crows calmly wait for the next red light to safely walk out into the crosswalk and collect their snack. They play and give gifts. Corvids are among the very few animals that engage in play just for the sheer joy of it. Ravens have been filmed using snow-covered roofs as slides, tumbling down on their backs over and over again and playing keep-away with unsuspecting dogs. Even more touching is their capacity for gratitude. There are numerous documented cases of people who regularly feed neighborhood crows receiving gifts in return. The birds will leave shiny objects on the feeding platforms, things like silver buttons, colorful beads, lost keys, and polished pieces of sea glass. They hold funerals and court sessions. When a crow dies, others will gather around the body in large groups, vocalizing loudly. Scientists believe this crow funeral isn't necessarily an emotional mourning ritual, but rather a community safety meeting. They are evaluating the scene to figure out what killed their peers so they can avoid the same fate. Additionally, ravens have a strict social code. If a raven discovers a large carcass, it will actively yell to attract the other ravens to the feast. If a dominant raven tries to hog a food source without sharing, the flock will actively shun or attack the greedy bird to enforce fairness. There was something else I wanted to add, or maybe it was something else I just wanted to talk about, and now I can't remember what it was. This is typical of me, isn't it? Well, that was good. I enjoyed talking about corvids, and I'll probably come up with, I think it was trees, that's it. Trees communicating with each other. I may talk about that next. We'll see. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.